Hey everyone, welcome back to JP Reacts, where we look at some Reddit posts and talk about politics and religion. Today, Electoral College time. Let's see if we'll see what we get after this. Okay, so let's jump right in and take a look at that post. All right, the title of it is, Will a Republican ever be president again if the Electoral College is scrapped? Well, before we look at what the poster put in the general comments, I'll give you what I think so far. What I think is it depends. Really, that's what it comes down to. I know that's not a satisfactory answer to everybody, but let's just say, for sake of argument, the Republican Party does not change its current positions or its current policies whatsoever. It stays static forever, then probably not. They probably will not win another presidential election if there is no Electoral College. But that would seem unlikely that they would remain static if the Electoral College was somehow abolished. But how likely is it for the Electoral College to be abolished? It's probably pretty unlikely. But let's see what this poster has to say. Okay, so the poster says, I've been trying to read up on the movements wanting to institute a popular vote for the president and get rid of the Electoral College. And my impression is that at least since the 90s to now, the Republicans are quite reliant on Electoral College to win the presidency. Is this impression incorrect? If not, do you believe Republicans would ever eventually adjust or change? So, since the 90s, let's say 2000, 2004, they technically won the popular vote in 2004, so that isn't exactly true. 2000, Gore won the popular vote. 2008, President Obama won the popular vote. 2012, Obama won the popular vote. 2016, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. And then obviously in 2020, Joe Biden won the popular vote. So he is quite right that the Republicans are heavily reliant on the Electoral College to win the presidency. They would not have won the three elections they won since President H.W. Bush, the first President Bush. Of those three, two of them they would have lost if it was just by popular vote. So what does that mean? Does it mean that they would never win again? I would say probably not. Strategy would change, right? When you're looking at, gotta remember when we're looking at the Electoral College, we're looking to try to get to 270 electoral votes. So what is an electoral vote? It's basically, it's a whole process, but essentially the numbers come from total number of House representatives plus total number of senators. So there's 435 House members, there's 100 senators, there's 535 electoral votes. So to win, you need more than 50%, which is 270. So when you're looking at the map on election day, that's why it's the count to 270. So that's why it's so important electorally to make sure you're winning enough states. It's about winning states, it's not about winning the most votes. So what would that mean if we did away with the Electoral College? That would mean that it would be the popular vote again, right? Or not again. It would be the popular vote altogether. So the strategy wouldn't be basically to ignore a lot of the smaller states that have only 3 or 4 electoral votes, right? Because that currently have like 3 or 4 electoral votes. Because right now, if they only have 3 or 4 electoral votes, that means they have very low population. So the election would be decided basically in the high population centers. Now, in a way that makes sense. You know, the way that it's supposed to work is whoever has the most votes wins. When the Electoral College was set up originally, it wasn't based on the popular vote of the electorate. The actual states themselves decided who the electors would be. So it was a whole different process when it was created in the Constitution. So you would want where more of the people are to have the bigger say. And that's kind of what the whole point of it is. There should, in a democracy or a republic, whoever has the most votes should have final say on what's going on. But we need to protect the minority opinion as well. That's what the courts are for. Now, how likely is it that the Electoral College is going to go away? It's very highly unlikely. There are some movements, like he mentioned, for states to delegate their electoral votes, regardless of who wins in their state, to the popular vote winner. They haven't quite got enough states on board for that to go into effect. It would take an amendment to the Constitution to totally just eliminate it altogether, and as of right now, there's no real movement to have that happen either. Another way to make it more fair would be to increase the size of the House, which hasn't happened in quite a long time, and we've gone from House members representing 20, 30,000 people to over between 700 and 800,000 people now, which is a lot of people to represent for a House seats. And then some of those people, they live in smaller states where they only get one House member. They could be representing even less than what some people in the higher population states are representing. So it's a toss-up. I personally think the Electoral College is dumb. That's my personal opinion. But I think the way to do it is we should be working to increase the size of the House. Now, in the Constitution, it mentions it should be one member for every 15,000 people. That would be an insane number of representatives. But I think it is realistic to get the number down to one person representing 200,000 to 300,000 people would probably be reasonable for a House district. So that would dramatically increase the size of the House, probably would double it. But it would be better representation because you'd have more contact with your representative, and it would better represent the country, I think is a fair way to go. There was one comment I kind of wanted to I wanted to highlight here that I think kind of illustrates the point I'm trying to make. This is the correct answer. Republicans are resistant to getting rid of the Electoral College because they think it's the only way they can win the White House. But actually, that's only true in a system where the Electoral College is how we vote for president. Nobody could tell what would happen if we used the popular vote, although I suspect Democrats would still have a substantial advantage under the current political coalitions. And that's exactly what I was saying before. If everything stayed the same, the coalitions of the parties stayed the same and nothing changed about their policy positions, yeah, Democrats would likely win more often with the popular vote. But I find that hard to believe that given the situation where the popular vote was the way that the president was decided, that the Republicans wouldn't change. It may be painful and they may go through, it might take some time, but I think eventually they would get there. So Democrats would have an advantage initially, but over time, Republicans would be able to regain some of their popularity. It always comes with time. When one party's in power for a really long time, people want to change regardless of if the policy positions match what they're looking for or not. But that's what I think. What do you think? Do you think A, we should get rid of the Electoral College, or B, what would happen if the president was decided by popular vote? I'm interested to hear what you have to say. If you found this informative or you like what I'm doing, please like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and share this out with to your fans and friends and family. Get them all involved so we can have a more robust conversation. Until I see you around the internet, you have a great night. Bye.